Hello and good evening, fans, and welcome once again to the Coach's Corner here on the campus of West Virginia State University. I'm your host, Lee France. On tonight's show, we'll talk to junior running back Fabian Pain of Charleston and junior linebacker Stephen Bumpus, also of Charleston. But first, as always, we'll start the show with head coach Earl Monroe to discuss the Yellow Jackets' 48-20 loss to Seton Hill and set up this Saturday's homecoming festivities against West Liberty. Coach, welcome, and thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
You had the lead early in this one. You had to be pretty confident, I guess, at least early on in the game, even though, again, the score doesn't turn out in your favor. You go in pretty pumped up.
No question. We thought we had pretty good game plans, both offensively and defensively. Coach Shaw did a really good job of calling the plays and adjusting to what they were doing to us on defense. We were able to move the ball down the field and, for once, punch it in the end zone.
Yeah, they had two really quick strikes. Talk about those plays, or those drives, I should say, and how that affected the team there in the first quarter.
Again, it's been our problem all year. I mean, we just can't slow people down, both run and pass. Again, we thought we had a pretty simple game plan going in defensively. We knew what they were going to do. For whatever reason, we're not getting adjusted to the motions and the multiple formations. And again, we're working very hard on simplifying our defense and trying to get our guys in position to make plays.
They had a couple of running backs, Butler and Miller, that combined for almost 300 yards. I think that goes to what you speak of. They're just not in the right place. But then when does it become a problem that you oversimplify the defense?
That is a problem.
Yeah.
You know, we would like to put in some more coverages and some more fronts and some more blitzes. But, you know, when you're not doing your assignments in the simple game plans that we have, you know, you weigh it out, and I've gone into the games lately saying, let's just go in simple. Hopefully we can get all 11 players doing what they need to do on every single play. And once we get to that point, we'll try to move on. And it's frustrating.
The first conference win for the Griffins, at least was reported by the conference, the West Virginia Conference. How's their program been going over the last years that you've been the head coach here?
When they originally petitioned to join the conference, they came in, had a couple D1 transfers, and they were really good. Like I mentioned on the show last week, 2 years ago, when we played up there, they were 6-0 and ranked in the nation, and we were 5-0 and ranked in the nation. And, you know, we've both gone through our growing pains, had some pretty good guys graduate. They had Sammy Tranks and a couple guys that were All-American candidates graduate, and so have we. So we're both young teams trying to get our identity back and trying to improve in a really tough conference.
This particular game, 28-17 at halftime, and you're actually in the game. I mean, in the flow of the game, and you're 11 points down, but you're in it. What was that halftime speech like?
Well, we had several opportunities, and like you said, we were in the football game, and we thought we had a chance to win the football game. Still, didn't seem like we were excited as I like to be for them to be at halftime. And, you know, I found myself, you know, in the middle of a group, you know, trying to do rah-rah and get them to come out and perform at a high level. But down the stretch again, we let them run the ball, and we missed some assignments in the passing game, and they were able to get some big scores and run away with it.
Come out and start the third quarter with a fumble. How big of a momentum swing? I know on paper it looks like it was a big momentum swing. How about during the game in your mind? How big was that fumble?
It was big. You know, anytime you get turnovers really what control ball games in a tight ball game like that. And once you get a turnover like that, it could be your downfall.
How big is it, the team spirits now at 0-5? Is it getting more difficult to keep those spirits up, or is everything still going along pretty well?
It's pretty difficult. I mean, you come in, you still want to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and do that work. You know, you're putting 14-hour days in, and, you know, you're not seeing the benefits of it. It's difficult for the staff as well. But we're going to keep working. We're going to keep working hard. The guys have not quit. That's still the one thing we've been building off of all year. We've had teams that seem like they quit in the fourth quarter. The guys are still playing. They're still playing hard, but they're playing hard in the wrong gaps. But hopefully we can build off of that. Again, it's homecoming this week. Hopefully we can build off of the homecoming crowd and that atmosphere. Hopefully that atmosphere doesn't scare a lot of the new guys. And hopefully it'll be a positive with all those fans and that atmosphere, home crowd, and, just our second home game.
Take a chance now to single a couple of guys out, and one is senior kicker Craig Whistler. He hit another 44-yard field goal for you. That's 2 this year, and that's the longest in the conference. He owns that. Talk a little bit about what he means to this team.
Craig's done an excellent job this year. Last year he had a down year. His first year here he kicked pretty good. He was trying to convince us forever to let his brother, who is a punter, become the holder. And we've always had quarterbacks, as holders, so you could put those fake field goals in, and if he had a bad snap, that guy could get up and throw the ball. And he just kept advocating for his brother, which was actually turned out to be a good deal because they're practicing together all the time. And David, his brother, actually did an excellent job as well, working on catching and handling ball and holding. So now they get to spend quite a bit of time on working on their craft and honing their craft at home in the backyard. And it's actually paid off tremendously for us.
Fabian Pain, another guy, he's coming up next for us here on the show. Tell me a little bit about him and what he's meant to this program. He's a junior now.
Fabian's been a great find for us. He originally went to Glenville and he transferred back. We recruited him out of South Charleston High School. Again, another local product in our program that's done really well. He's got deceptive speed. I mean, in practice, he breaks runs, and we've got some of our faster guys. We think they're going to run him down, and they never do. And plus, he's a hard runner, so he can run you over, or he can run around you. And he's been a great asset for our offense. Chris
Young came in, had 15 tackles last week. That's another name that we really haven't heard so far in these first few games. Tell me a little bit about him from St. Albans.
We asked a lot of Chris. Chris is our middle linebacker, and he has to get us lined up. And it's a new assignment for him because he has some veteran guys around him the previous years to actually get him lined up. And now he's going to have to do a better job on taking on that role and getting everybody lined up. He doesn't want that assignment, but as a middle linebacker, you're the quarterback on defense. So he's starting to settle into that role, and now he's able to make plays and not just worry about trying to have that role for himself. But he's done a really good job at the middle linebacker. He is a tough hitter. He's got one of those new high-dollar helmets that he bought himself, and it's a big helmet. We always kid him about putting his big head in there and stopping people. He's one of the hardest hitters we have on our football team.
Now we switch gears and talk about this weekend, and it's homecoming coming up. The Challenge of West Liberty, what is that going to be like this week?
It's going to be a heck of a challenge. This team was ranked in the nation at the beginning of the year. West Virginia Wesleyan beat them in a really tough ball game. Wesleyan's ranked in the nation now. They've got Zach Amidro, the quarterback. He is an all-time leading passer in West Virginia Conference history. He was a runner-up for the Harlan Hill Trophy last year, which is the NCAA Division II Heisman Trophy. And he was a runner-up as a junior. So he's a great quarterback. He's got command of their offense. They're well coached. If you make a mistake in the secondary, he will punish you. He'll take advantage of it. So it's going to be a tough challenge for us. Hopefully we can get some pressure on him and actually maintain our assignments and try to slow that offense down.
Talk about homecoming itself, what that means to you, and this being homecoming week, you'll see some of the old guys that you coached back in even maybe the late 80s and early 90s here.
No question. It's a good feeling when you see those guys come back. I've been here this is my 24th season. You see those guys come back and see how they're matured and productive adults. So it's a great feeling. Again, hopefully our guys won't be distracted with all that's going on for homecoming. Hopefully they can build off the atmosphere and we can get a little momentum from our fans and play a good ball game.
One guy that we know that is inducted into the Hall of Fame this weekend is our good friend and a head basketball coach here currently, Brian Poore. Tell me a little bit about your relationship with him.
We have a great relationship. actually in recruiting, I'll send him recruiting tapes if it's a basketball, football player, and he'll do the same thing if it's a football, basketball player. Brian and I mean, we eat together, we go out and eat together, we hang out, and he's very worthy of this accomplishment. I mean, he's come in I don't know, 8 or 9 years and done what, coaches would like to do in about 20, 25 years. Hopefully we can keep him as part of the athletic staff. He's been a great friend of mine and a great asset to West Virginia State University athletics.
Good luck this weekend in homecoming and against West Liberty, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Time now, fans, to take a break. We'll return with running back Fabian Pain.